One of the things I love about Scratch is that there's always something new to learn. Maybe I've already said that in one of these videos, but there's always something new to learn. What I want to show you in this video is something that I learned from one of your classmates, and I wish for the life of me I could remember where I saw it and give that person credit. But when I went back looking for it, I couldn't find it. What I want to show you in this video is a different way, a way of using what is basically in computer science called recursion. It's not quite true recursion, but it's pretty close. Is a way to use recursion to do error checking. And this is a really nifty way. It's actually much better than the loop and a half way I showed you in one of the previous videos. So here's the situation. I just mocked up a dumb little story here since I couldn't find the one I was looking for. Here's a story where I'm going to ask, pick a character from bear, cat, or duck. So let me pick a duck, and then how many characters are in my story? Let's say somewhere from 1 to 4. I'll pick 3, and we start out and we pick 3 little ducks, and then the story could go on. And again, I've just mocked this together just to show you what we're doing here. And so you see that my narrator here asks, pick a character and sets the costume to that answer. How many characters are in the story? Set the number to that answer. And then my lead actor, when he gets the start story command, switches to the right costume and stamps out some number of those characters using the stamp command I showed you in another video. And so this works okay, but the problem is what happens when we don't give a good answer. What happens if instead here I say I want a bear and I spell it B-A-R-E, right? And I say that I want 6 of them. Well, first of all, B-A-R-E wasn't a costume, so it stayed with the duck that was there before, and then I got 6 of them even though I don't really want 6, I only wanted no more than 4. So the issue is how do we put in some error checking here? And I showed you a way in an earlier video, something I call a loop and a half, where you ask a question outside of a loop and you set a dummy variable and you look to see if the answer they gave you is right and then change the variable to true or false. And that's a very computer sciencey way to do it, and it works. But here's a nifty way I thought to do this. We're going to take this question number 1, pick a character from bear, cat, or dog. And what I'm actually going to do is to put that in its own little block here that I'm going to call ask question 1. And so since it's no longer under the green flag here, then what I'm going to have this do is to say ask question 1. And then this down here will be question 2. Right? So I put each of them into their own little broadcast. And you could look at it this way, and so if I were going to do this, even just sort of straight up, I could look at doing something like this. Right? I could say when the green flag gets started, ask question 1. We come down here and we ask the question, and when we're done, we ask question 2. We come down here, we ask question 2, and then we're done, we broadcast start story. And so that all works, but of course I didn't add any validation in here. So how do we do that? Well, here's the issue. I only want to ask question 2 at the end of this if they gave me a good answer. And so I can actually put my error checking in here. I can say, I'm going to do an if-else here, and you'll see why I use an if-else in just a little bit. My block in here isn't going to look for, should I in fact ask question number 2? And so I ask question number 2 if the answer that they gave me, what I set the costume to, equals bear, or if it equals cat, or if it equals, was it dog? Right? So those are my 3 options. Is that right? Oh, duck. Sorry, not dog, duck. Excuse me. New dog didn't sound right. And so we want to now throw together a couple of ors in here. So let me pull out one or and another or, and we'll just sort of nest these all together. So if it equals bear or cat or duck, right? If it's any of those kinds of things, then I want to broadcast ask question 2. Okay? So you say, well, cool, I got the error checking. If it was a good thing, broadcast question 2. But the issue is, what should I do if it was a bad thing? Well, if it was a bad thing, I need to ask this question again. I need to tell them you didn't pick the right thing. And so maybe I'll come in here and say, that wasn't one of the choices. And then what I can do is to broadcast ask question 1 all over again. And so what I do is to say that wasn't one of the choices, broadcast question 1, which immediately means that it comes back around and it starts this all over again. And so I can keep doing this over and over and over again until I get the answer I was looking for. And similarly down here with the starting the story, I can do the following. I can put another if-else statement in. And so I can say if, let's do this, if the number was less than 5, because 4 is my maximum number, let's duplicate this, and also say if it was greater than 0, so assuming they gave me an integer, which may be a bad thing. If the number is less than 5 and above 0, then it must be between 1 and 4, and it was okay, so I can start the story. Else, I want to broadcast ask question 2 again, and ask the question. And of course, I maybe want to put an error message in here. That wasn't between 1 and 4. Okay, my mathematics in between is a little bit shaky there, but we get the main point. Okay, so now let me run this again. Right? Pick a character from bear, cat, or duck. So let me spell bear. B-A-R-E. Spell it wrong. That wasn't one of the choices. Pick a character again. Say I say dog. That wasn't one of the choices. Pick again. Right? I can keep putting garbage in until I finally say bear. And then pick a number from 1 to 4. Okay, 6. Nope, that wasn't between 1 and 4. 0. Nope, that's not between 1 and 4. Okay, 3. And so now we get my 3 bears. Perfectly. A nice little recursive kind of thing here. Again, you could change the order of this, and if instead of saying if it's less than 5 and greater than 0, I could say if it's greater than 4 or less than 1, then broadcast that was an error, and then the else is the right. So we can switch these around. But this neat little sort of recursive answer where you say ask the question, and within the code for that, we might ask the question again if it wasn't right. Nifty way of doing that.